Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kevin Jones and this is the Beginning Hunter video series here on YouTube. My goal with this program is to educate and inform you on everything that you will need to know about becoming a new hunter. Hey, I just wanted to post a quick video. I've had a couple comments recently asking how folks can use onX to waterfowl hunt. And it's a really good question because I too have ran into this quite a bit this season. Right now I'm duck hunting here in Oregon, and I'm noticing that the water levels that are typically on like the satellite imagery on onX aren't the same as when it's flooded, right? If that makes any sense. So when it comes to water, you guys got to remember, and I had a real issue this last season during antelope season when I'm like, well, what the hell? Like onX shows that the edge of this reservoir is right here, and that's not, it doesn't look like that's where those antelope are accessing the water. But then I remember, I'm like, well, water levels rise and drop as the season continues and dependent on rain and so on and so forth, which I should have probably remembered that, but I feel like I found a pretty good workaround. So one thing you want to do is when you go into onX and you are dropping, first off, right when I get on my truck, because I'm using a beavertail final attack boat, so I'm dragging this boat in to these flooded areas and I'm just throwing out decoys and then just sitting. Right now this is the boat and these are my kayak paddles right here, and I'll just kayak in and set up my stuff. So what I do is like the first time I hunted this area, I scouted it 2 weeks ago, and this is the first time I've hunted it today, but right when I got out of the truck and pulled the boat down, I started my tracker and allowed me to really get an idea of how far away from my vehicle, my spot, my access point really was. When I came out to scout, I dropped a waypoint and I just typed in with my phone, I said access point. So I knew that right when I got out of my truck, I was gonna go straight to that access point, and then it was like, 0.35 miles. But then from there, I still kept my tracker going and I accessed this area, which is where I'm at right now, which is it's a pretty good sized pond. I dropped a note. Oops, excuse me, there we go. I dropped I kept the tracker on, so that way I knew when I get in here and I start paddling around, I knew where to go to get out. So always keep your tracker on. Drop a point when you hit your access point. You could hit, mark my location, and that drops an X on your location. Secondly, if you are going to continually set up in the same spots, maybe you got like a blind built on the sides out of natural stuff, or you're like me and you have a little boat and you always want to anchor on the same spot, just drop another pin right there too. You can color code it, you can do whatever you want, because the aerial imagery, again, sometimes doesn't match. Another thing you could do if you really wanted to, depending on how big the size of the water it is that you're accessing, is that you could, on your first trip out, you could paddle around the edge of where you're at and with your tracker on. So that way that roughly that's where your edge is going to be, maybe this time next year when you access the same spot. So by no means am I a professional at waterfowling, but I've made enough trips out with onX that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So hopefully you guys can benefit from those as well. If there's other things that you found as a waterfowler that are kind of like a little hack or something like that, drop it in the comments, man. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing and kind of make me a better waterfowl hunter as well. So, all right, well, that's it for this one. If this video is helpful, consider hitting the like button. If this is extra helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.